at the outer reaches of the Arctic. This hardcore crew.
It's not a job for the weak of heart, that's for sure. Come on!
Battle brutal blizzards.
I used to love snow before this job.
Or the snow drift's got to be 3 or 4 feet tall.
And deadly ice.
If there's a real emergency, you cannot let the train over top of it.
To keep a critical supply route open.
Gotta get done, somebody's gotta do it.
If trains can't roll through this icy hell.
When the trains are moving, this is what we're paid to do.
Snow buildup could cause derailment.
These communities will not survive.
It is a lifeline, especially in the winter.
This time, raging storms.
Now they're calling for a storm watch, 25 centimeters of snow and 70-kilometer-an-hour winds.
And a treacherous ice road.
There's chances of accidents out here.
You see a big crack on the river crossing there.
Threaten to derail a critical delivery of fuel.
Freight train's here.
Oh, boy.
Deep in the frozen north, one of Canada's most extreme railroads snakes over 1,000 kilometers across the tundra. Built almost 120 years ago, the Ontario Northland Railway is one of the world's most northerly rail networks. Almost 100 towns and villages are connected in the frozen north, a vital lifeline for First Nations communities and industry. From Moosonee to the freight hub of Cochrane, branches spider out across the province to communities such as Hearst and Timmins. The line extends as far south as North Bay. This crucial supply route is a lifeline for the most inhospitable parts of the country.
This train is a link for them. There is no road, they can't get in and out, so the train is vital for them. They depend on it. That's their lifeline.
But in one of the harshest environments on Earth, it takes a hardcore team.
When it's continuously snowing, it's almost next to impossible on some days.
Perfect. Head on.
Come on, guys, we gotta get this done quick.
And a fleet of mega machines. To keep this railroad running.
I love it.
It's 6 a.m. at Hearst Yard. Veteran conductor Jay Faldine and engineer Mike Black are gearing up for a critical supply run. They need to ship a consignment of hundreds of tons of fuel to the frozen north. This vital cargo is needed by a First Nation community of around 1,500 residents to heat their homes, schools, and hospitals.
There's a lot of isolated communities in the north here that they really depend on the train. It's a lifeline. It's pretty vital that we get the fuel up there as quick as possible. What time you figure we're in today there, Mikey?
We probably should be in around 1 o'clock.
Jay's been a conductor on these trains for 18 years, but he didn't start out on the railways.
I worked in my brother's tattoo shop off and on for roughly 7 years, doing the body piercing actually. But once I hired on here, it became my dream job.
Jay and Mike have been working together for over 10 years.
It is a brotherhood. Well, Mike's a good mate to have for sure. I can think of a lot more good trips I've had with him than bad ones.
Mike and Jay will need to bring their A game today. Their cargo is the most dangerous load the ONR haul. Tanks of diesel, jet fuel, and highly flammable gasoline.
In essence, they're little rolling bombs where a good day could turn into something catastrophic.
Each 18-meter-long tank contains nearly 100,000 liters of liquid fuel, the equivalent of over 200,000 sticks of dynamite.
It does raise the stakes a little bit more when you've got the amount of flammable and dangerous cars on your train. Things can really go sideways.
From Hearst, Jay and Mike must haul their dangerous cargo up a notoriously steep climb outside Kappa's casing to arrive in Cochrane by nightfall. A second team will then take over to haul it from Cochrane to a fuel depot in the far north at Moosonee. From here, a convoy of trucks must then drive it to the remote community of Attawapiskat along a treacherous ice road. But with warmer weather approaching, the ice road will soon melt. It's vital that this huge consignment of fuel arrives before the roads are too dangerous to pass.
It's kind of getting dicey whether they can get up there, so it's a little more critical this time of year. It's kind of getting down to the crunch.
The pressure's on. And to make matters worse, Jay and Mike will have to battle intense blizzards and steep, winding tracks.
It's always a lot tougher. Everybody's got to kind of be on their toes when the weather's like it is today. Can push everything to the limit.
Over 300 kilometers north, at the fuel depot in Moosonee, yard manager Tony Turner is preparing for this vital delivery.
This is actually a nice day.
Minus 12, wind chill minus 22. Chilly is 30. Yeah, so right now, like, we're waiting for this product to come in.
The fuel will power planes, trucks and cars, as well as heating schools, and most critically, the hospital in Attawapiskat.
We're probably going to haul about maybe 150,000 liters of product. We haul lots up the north for people for heating, equipment, businesses, hospitals up there, ambulance spaces, schools.
The fuel depot is a supersized gas station. Fuel comes in by train, and Tony pumps it from the rail cars into huge storage tanks.
Fuel's going to leave here and go into those 6 tanks right there.
A separate pumping station will fill the trucks that haul it across the ice road to its final destination. This next run will be the last chance to get fuel north before the ice road melts. After that, there will be no deliveries by truck until the road freezes again next winter.
Warmer weather is predicted for next week, so it don't take long for the ice roads to disappear when the warm weather comes. The road's gone, the road's gone.
This is the most critical load of the entire season.
Yeah, we try to keep everybody as full as they can before breakup. That way they get enough fuel to last.
In the south, Jay's fuel train is making good progress.
Once we get over the little hill here, we should be all right.
But up ahead lies their first major challenge. A steep hill just outside the small town of Kappa's Casing. With slippery snow coating the tracks, this is going to be an uphill battle.
There are some hills that we've got to deal with. The more loads we have on, or the heavier the train, the harder it is for us.
Pulling their 113-ton train is an 18-metre-long, 3,000 horsepower diesel-electric locomotive. Its beating heart is a huge 16-cylinder turbocharged engine that guzzles up to 9 litres of diesel every single minute. But this doesn't drive the wheels. The engine connects to a central generator that produces electricity. This feeds 4 powerful electric traction motors below, and these turn the locomotive's wheels. On a good day, these monster machines should motor up even this steep hill. But today isn't a good day for Mike and Jay.
We've got a traction motor cut out, which basically reduces the pulling power of the train by about 25%.
And the problem with these engines are they almost have too much power for their weight. So when you're trying to pull, they spin really easily. And today with the weather, you're getting snow, they want to skip the snow on the rail. So when you're going slow, every time you try to pull it, you end up spinning. It's definitely going to be a challenge.
With a heavy, underpowered train, they slow to a crawl.
Ah, boy.
We're really struggling on the hill here.
Come on, Mike, you get her going, buddy. You got this.
We've lost quite a lot of speed. Really hoping that we can break the top of the hill, but we have a long ways to go before we get there.
If they can't reach the top of the hill, it will be a disaster. The ice road trucks are waiting for this vital haul of fuel. It has to make it on time, even if it means offloading some of their other, less vital cargo.
Hopefully we do make it out of here, but if we don't, we'll have to go back and we'll have to get rid of some tonnage so we can actually get out of Kapuskasing.
While Mike and Jay's fuel train battles the hill outside Kapuskasing, in the far north, Bill Henry is gearing up to inspect the condition of the ice road, the final leg of the fool's long journey.
Minus 16, sun's out. That's a perfect day on the James Bay Winter Road.
This road runs from the end of the freight line at Moosonee to the remote community at Attawapiskat. Bill oversees its construction in December and is in charge of repairs. He must also ensure it is at least 1 meter thick. A convoy of 5 48-ton trucks will haul the fuel north across this ice highway. So it's vital the road is hazard-free and strong enough to take the load.
The road is a lifeline for the north communities because it does bring in a lot of supplies and equipment to the north.
First Nations communities have been transporting goods over ice for centuries. But in the 1930s, as mining industries began to expand north, they needed to transport heavy machinery through the frozen wilderness. Enterprising mining companies created caterpillar sleds called tractor trains. These machines would haul huge loads across the frozen lakes. But these were treacherous crossings, and many men and machines fell victim to an icy grave. Ontario's ice roads now carry around 17 million litres of fuel and 1,500 truckloads of supplies during a critical 3-month weather window every year. Bill's team have built the ice road out of layers of compacted snow and ice. But heavy traffic and variable weather can quickly degrade the road, so it needs constant maintenance. And there are plenty of other dangers.
Oh, looks like we got a broken down vehicle. Hazard. Obviously he blew a tire. Chances are he doesn't have a spare, so chances are they're gonna go get a spare tire and come back and retrieve the truck. We got debris here, there's nails sticking out. Yeah, I'll place a cone out in the northbound lane just for awareness.
Driving through the frozen wilderness on roads made out of ice isn't for the faint-hearted.
It can be quite dangerous. If you have no experience driving on ice or snow, then you shouldn't be driving. My father taught me to drive on ice. I bounced off a few snowbanks and I went skidding on ice, and you learn how to drive on ice real quick. Yeah, it's definitely a different way of living up here.
While Bill continues his ice road patrol north, on the tracks, Jay and Mike are still battling the Kapuskasing incline.
One of the biggest problems you have with a train is gravity.
With an engine down and a cargo of highly flammable fuel, they may not make it.
We've just got a slow pull here.
It's really holding us back a lot. We're losing a lot of speed. We're struggling pretty hard on this one.
Freight trains can easily pull monster loads along the flat. But even a slight rise of a metre every 2 meters of track can cause them problems. Steel wheels don't have much grip on steel rails. And when pulling loads of up to 6,000 tons uphill, they can easily start to spin. For engineer Mike, it's a delicate balance. He has to apply just enough power to keep the train moving, but not so much that the wheels spin on the icy rails. With their speed dropping, it's touch and go whether they'll make it. Eventually, after 8 kilometers of slow climbing, they reach the top.
Nicely done, Michael.
Starting to doubt that one for a minute. Doing a lot of spinning, couldn't get the thing going, but it all come together and we got out, so pretty happy about that.
Never had a doubt, Mike.
With the hill behind them, Mike picks up speed. But having solved one problem, it's now a race against the clock to get back on schedule and reach Cochrane on time. On the ice road, Bill is still on patrol. The deeper he ventures into the wilderness, the more unpredictable the ice can be. He's now reached the kilometre-long ice bridge that takes the road across the mighty Albany River.
So what we're driving on is the majority is flood ice. They're just more or less just a long ice bridge.
Immediately, Bill spots a problem.
As you can see on the sides here, this is where all the damage happened from the big tide.
Recent warm weather and high tides on the river have dangerously weakened the road.
It's not safe right now for large loads or heavy traffic. Potentially, they won't fall through and disappear. If it's fuel, then yeah, it could be catastrophic. You don't want to go and spill 30,000 liters of gasoline or diesel fuel in the river, because these rivers are people's way of life. They hunt on these rivers, they fish these rivers, more or less, they live off these rivers.
Bill urgently needs to repair the ice bridge. If it's too weak, he'll have to shut the road, and the fuel convoy won't make it through to Attawapiskat. On the fuel train,
ON 2200 south, 1 mile across near limits Cochrane.
Jay and Mike have completed the first leg of the journey.
Nothing went boom.
That's the way I like it.
Despite being a motor down, they've made it to Cochrane on schedule.
There was a couple moments there where I thought we might end up having to go for a walk to reduce some of our tonnage, but, 3 miles an hour is better than 0. We got the fuel in on time, and it's able to connect with the train going up to Moosonee.
Jay and Mike's shift may be done, but in less than 24 hours' time, the fuel train has to make the tough 300-kilometre run north to Moosonee. To do that, It will need all of its traction motors at full power.
All right, guys, you ready to jack the locomotive up? Yeah, away you go.
Brian Malherbe is the superintendent in charge of making the fix. The pressure's on.
We need to get this train back up and running. We have one shift to get this traction motor changed out and this horsepower ready so that there'll be enough horsepower to pull all the fuel up north. So we're gonna get our machinists on it right away today and get things done.
To fix the motor, Brian has to do some locomotive open heart surgery.
All set?
Ready to go. All good.
The electric traction motors that drive the wheels are mounted directly onto the wheel sets beneath, called the trucks. To reach them, Brian has to jack the entire 113-ton locomotive up to separate it from the truck with the broken motor. Only then can he replace it with a working one.
For jacking the locomotive up, each one of those yellow jacks will lift 35 tons.
35 tons is the same as 16 SUVs, so Brian's team must work slowly and carefully.
Just have 2 or 3 different sets of holes.
If the jacks don't move at the same speed on either side, the 113-ton train could topple over.
So here comes a freight loco there now.
Once the truck is clear, Brian's team shunt the locomotive over to the machine shop to make the fix.
We're gonna remove the traction motor out of the truck behind me and we're gonna reinstall a new one and we're gonna get going to do that now.
"420 kilometers north, Bill Henry is racing to fix the dangerous ice bridge across the Albany River.
A large vehicle traveling on this area of the road could damage the road or fall through. Their chances are that it could break.
If he can't fix it fast, the convoy of trucks won't be able to reach Attawapiskat to deliver their vital fuel.
It's not safe. So right now we're repairing it. We've cleared a portion of it with a large loader, and right now we're resurfacing it by a water truck.
Repairing an ice road is nothing like repairing a traditional asphalt road. The process is called ice capping.
Ice capping is when you take water from a river and then just slowly spray it out onto the road. It creates an ice sheet on top of the packed snow.
The ice that makes up the road isn't thick enough to support a heavy vehicle. So Bill uses specialized water trucks to drill beneath the ice and pump water from the river below. The truck then sprays it onto the road's surface. The sub-zero temperatures quickly freeze it solid, making the road thicker. But it will take many passers to make the road strong enough to take fully loaded tankers.
Yeah, we're just trying to fix it best to what we can.
Bill won't know if his fix has worked until he comes back tomorrow to measure the thickness of the ice. If the ice bridge still isn't strong enough, the fuel trucks won't be able to make their run north. And to make matters worse, a blizzard is blowing in. Heavy dumps of snow on ice can make driving on this frozen highway even more treacherous.
The storm coming Thursday, Friday, 2 days of snow, approximately 25 centimeters, 25 to 30 centimeters within 2 days. But we take Mother Nature as she comes, right?
In the engineering yard, Brian and his team of mechanics are ready to change out the traction motor.
Really careful.
The pressure's on. They need to get this train north before the storm hits.
Push that in.
Okay.
Each motor costs up to $13,000. So there's no room for mistakes.
The guys just below us are putting the last couple bolts in, and we're gonna transport it back to the coach shop to reinstall with the locomotive.
After several hours of painstaking work, it's done. Brian's team quickly roll the truck back to the locomotive body. And reattach it.
So the guys did a great job today getting the traction motor changed out. This locomotive is now 100% ready.
The mighty Locomotive 2200 is back at full power and ready to roll north. The fuel train can finally set off for Moosonee with a new crew at the helm.
The run from Cochrane to Moosonee is 186 miles, so it takes us roughly almost 5 hours.
Conductor Dave Houston is hoping for a fast run. The impending storm looks like it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, they're calling for a storm watch, 25 centimeters of snow and 70-kilometer-an-hour winds.
But whatever the weather, the fuel has got to get through.
There's a big demand for the fuel right now. They want to ship as much as they can while the winter road is there. It'll probably start to melt, in the next few weeks, I would say, depending on the weather. This is potentially some of the last tanks that they'll be able to get shipped up there.
Dave's destination, Moosonee, is the end of the railroad line. No roads connected with the rest of the country, so rail is the only way in. This means that the line passes through one of the most remote wildernesses in Canada. With a potentially dangerous cargo, Dave's got to stay alert.
There's derailments that can happen. Sometimes you can see a fault ahead of time, but definitely not in this weather for sure.
It's not just faults in the track Dave's got to look out for.
Definitely the fuel is the most dangerous thing that we haul. Just have to keep our eye on anything that might be dangerous and be ready to stop at a moment's notice.
On the road to Attawapiskat, Bill's on his way to check the repairs to the damaged ice bridge. It's down to him to make sure the fuel convoy can get through. If they don't make this run, no fuel will reach the hospital in Attawapiskat by road until next winter. Lives are on the line.
Today will be the decision whether we open up to heavier traffic, depending on the crossing of the north channel of the Albany River.
Bill's team has pumped thousands of litres of water onto the road to thicken the ice. Now it's frozen solid. He needs to check if it's thick enough to support the convoy of 5 fuel trucks. With so much at stake, nothing can be left to chance.
Well, this is a ground penetrating radar unit, so it measures every 12 inches, and each measurement has a GPS coordinate. And those measurements from that machine get sent Wi-Fi via to the laptop, and then we record all that data. We'll drive about 10 kilometers an hour, towing this machine, and just measure ice. It determines whether we open this crossing to heavy loads.
The radar system automatically tells Bill exactly how deep the ice is. It has to reach a minimum thickness to be safe enough for fuel trucks to drive over. But subarctic conditions and modern technology don't always mix.
Why is it taking so long to pick it up?
No, just the Wi-Fi, that part of it could be getting old, I don't know. There we got some bars there now.
Huh?
We got some bars here now, but still searching here.
Yeah.
Strap it up, we'll try again. It's all good there now, it's ready to go.
Eventually, the radar is ready, and Bill sets off.
60 inches right here, Steve.
What we see so far is really good. We got 51 inches, pretty consistent here. 48, 49.
Yeah, we're done.
We got good ice. We got a significant amount of ice, so it looks really well.
Bill's measurements show that the ice has thickened up nicely.
Open to heavy traffic.
The only thing that can stop the fuel getting through now is the weather. And the forecast isn't looking good.
We're looking at, 50, 60 kilometer winds and the gusts can 60, 70. And we just monitor the storm and see what we get, and then we do our best to deal with it.
Further south, the storms are already hitting hard.
Weather always adds a little bit of fun to it.
Ahead of the train, in Moosonee, the team are furiously fighting the deadly ice freeze.
Okay, I'll go to the next one. As it snows, we just keep going pretty much. And on days when it's snowing, you pretty much just keep doing the same thing over and over again all day.
With the fuel train thundering towards them, Monique and her team have a battle on their hands to fix the switches so that the train can get through.
Snow, you can just blow it away and it's a lot easier to deal with for sure. A lot more work when you're chipping ice.
With temperatures plummeting to -20, switches can easily jam with ice. A switch is a vital component of all railways. It's made up of two movable rails. In one position, they keep the train on the same track. In a second position, they switch the train onto a different track. But during freezing weather, ice and snow can jam the mechanism. And without working switches, it's impossible to change tracks. Today, the switches are quite literally frozen solid.
They're full of ice, so they're a lot harder to turn the switches today. We just chip the ice out from underneath. We don't want to slow down the train, so try and keep them on time as much as possible. It's got to get done. Somebody's got to do it.
It's grueling work.
Freight train should be about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Oh, it's here.
If they can't free the switches, the fuel train is going nowhere. Dave calls into traffic control.
News Channel 1.
What the heck?
Morning.
It's not good news. After a 500-kilometer journey, the fuel train risks being stranded just outside Moosonee station.
I'll go see what's up.
But as the blizzards intensify, Monique's team are struggling.
Okay, I'll just try and switch this. Try and throw it.
Finally, after 3 hours of grueling work, Monique and the team clear the tracks.
Thanks, man. Cheers. Bye. Welcome to Moosonee.
They may have reached their final stop, but Dave's day is far from over.
We get our switch list to see what customers need what cars and go from there.
He faces a Herculean challenge to unhook the 26 cars and get the fuel tanks to the depot so they can be hauled north by the ice road trucks.
We get a list like this and it's all mixed up. We never know exactly what we're getting till we get here. It's basically like playing Tetris, only heavier. This kind of weather, things take a little longer and everybody has to be patient.
Finally, they've done it.
So we got Tony as fuel, and this is our last move of the day.
The fuel has reached Moosonee, ready to be trucked north on the ice roads. But the weather could stop the trucks in their tracks.
Bad weather's supposed to start tonight. 70-kilometer-an-hour winds and 10 or 15-degree temperature drop. Might be 30 degrees below with the wind tonight.
The ice road won't be safe in such a severe storm. Fuel yard manager Tony has no option but to delay the convoy.
Oh, we're not going to be leaving today. This weather is not very good for our trucks. It's not good for anything. The brakes will be freezing up. Maybe visibility will be bad and it's going to shut down.
25 centimeters of snow fall. And driving winds of 60 kilometers per hour create a virtual whiteout for hours. Eventually, there's a break in the weather. "5:30 a.m. and the ice truckers seize the moment. The fuel convoy finally hits the road.
There's 5 of us today, this morning. 110,000 liters we're carrying today.
Lead driver Monty is responsible for guiding the convoy safely from Moosonee, 260 kilometers north, across the Albany River ice bridge to Attawapiskat.
Attawapiskat's about 260 kilometers. 5 hours, I guess we should be there if we don't have no issues. 4 to 5 hours. Invisibility, of course, is a big thing. And if there's snow, drifting snow, we could get stuck.
Behind him is veteran driver Rich.
There's chances of accidents out here. It is an ice road, so slippery corners, so lots of traction. There have been some collisions out here, some rollovers. We all hope for a good trip. No fuel spilled, no one gets hurt, get home safe.
These roads can be deadly at the best of times. But after such a big storm, you never know what's around the corner.
Last week we've been hit with storm after storm. See how narrow it's getting in here? Because everything's so white. Oh, it looks like one.
As day breaks, the punishing conditions take their toll.
You say you haven't got a lot of heat hack? Oh, antifreeze? I gotta put antifreeze in this truck.
One of the trucks in the convoy is losing antifreeze. This means the cab has no heat. With temperatures of minus 25 degrees, it's a serious problem for the driver.
It's cold out there, so every time it gets low in antifreeze, he's losing his heat. It'd be like driving with your window open. If the vehicle quits on you, there's a good chance you're gonna freeze to death.
Being in a convoy is safer and we can help each other out if we get stuck.
3 hours in, and the truck with low antifreeze requests a stop.
What's happening? We're not stopping, are we?
It's not a good sign.
Well, you got no heat?
Without heat in the cab, they can't continue. the fuel convoy could be in jeopardy.
Is it leaking?
Veteran ice trucker Monty has an ingenious plan.
You block off the front of the rad so don't get the cold air going into it.
Now he's just got to hope it will work.
Think you'll lose it?
Monty plans to block the flow of air into the radiator to warm up the air inside.
Just blocking off the rad so it's not getting the airflow going through the cold air. It's just you can use cardboard or anything, just to block it off.
These trucks, they're only used at the winter road. They stay in Moosonee all year round. You see more rough road in one trip than we probably do all year on a highway. Yeah, hopefully the rad holds out to get us back to Moosonee.
The trucks make good time, but before they reach their final destination, they have to cross the newly repaired ice bridge across the deep channels of Fort Albany River.
You can see the dips in the creek here. That's why you got to slow down.
I've seen some interesting things out here, some bad. We're gonna stay calm and carry on, unless you like doing a polar bear dip.
Bill's repairs were made before the big storm hit. And if one of these big rigs broke through the ice, it could be deadly. Monty slows the convoy to a crawl.
Usually keep our distance so we don't want all the weight in the one area. And if something do happen, well, we're not all in the same hole.
Monty goes first, inching carefully across the ice.
You can't hear it cracking, actually.
Halfway across, he spots a huge crack.
You see a big crack on the river crossing there, on the bridge. See the crack? See the one going in front here, look, see it?
Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead, Rich.
Okay, I'm cleared the channel.
The road holds.
That's what was holding us up, guys. Looks good from here on.
They're now on the home straight. The convoy crosses the Attawapiskat River and reaches the town.
The end of the ice road. Well, we made it anyway, guys. Good trip.
They deliver their precious cargo to storage tanks at the hospital, ambulance station, and sites across town. Fuel is the lifeblood of this community, and with this delivery they shouldn't have to resupply again until next winter.
And we're ready to pump.
After 3 days and almost 800 kilometers, it's taken dedicated cargo crews.
Made her back, nothing went boom.
Just the way I like it.
Tough track maintenance teams.
They'll make it through anyways. That's why we're here.
And heavy hauling truckers.
We're gonna stay calm and carry on. And we should be home free.
To keep the fuel flowing on one of the world's most extreme railroads.
On to the next delivery.